What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mad's Fab Shop. It's Friday. It's snowing, which was not planned at all. But we've got the trailer hooked up to the truck. As you can see, we're going on a little road trip. We've got a vehicle, not going to disclose what it is, down in my hometown that I got to go pick up. So I'm gonna throw my bags and stuff in the truck and we're gonna hit the road. Supposed to be in the 60s today, but it doesn't quite look like it is. I don't know what happened. Seems to me like Mother Nature's just straight up bipolar. But it's about 9 o'clock. We just left the house. Going through lovely Kennerdale again. Big hill, come on, let's see how we do. Damn. So if y'all wondering why indirect injected, hello dear. So if y'all are wondering why indirect injected naturally aspirated diesels are a thing of the past, that's why. 35 mile an hour up that hill. Screaming. But I think this thing's going to end up getting the turbo and a couple other big things, because we plan on getting a camper, and I'm not going to be stuck going up hills doing, 45 and a 70 mile an hour. No. It's not safe. It's not fun. And it makes you pretty embarrassed. So those are just a couple things that will most likely be happening to the truck in the future. That's if I just decide to go ahead and throw a 12 valve in it or something else. I don't know yet. It's something to think about. So we're getting on Interstate 80 right now, headed west, so we can go jump on 79 South, go past Pittsburgh and Washington, PA, and all that. And then we'll be heading down into Morgantown and Clarksburg and all those little other backwoods towns in West Virginia, which are very nice, by the way. Nothing against them. That's the kind of places I like. So we're just gonna truck along and take her easy, I guess. So I probably ain't gonna do a whole lot of recording, simply because I don't have a phone stand or anything in here in the truck, and we've got wind noise and this, that, and the other, but we'll just see y'all whenever we get there. How's that sound? One state down. First, I give a little trip update. We just stopped off in Clarksburg, West Virginia. It's snowing pretty good, if you can't tell. But stopped, got some diesel fuel, shoved some groceries down my neck, as the snowman would say. And now we're gonna hit the road again. So I discovered or remembered an issue with the truck. This truck, it has dual tanks on it. It's got a 16 gallon in the rear, or 16 or 19 gallon in the rear, and a 16 gallon tank up front. But I run all the way down on my rear tank. I stopped and filled up last night before I come home, and I was like, okay, well, tank should be good. And I brought my 5 gallon jug with me just in case, because none of my fuel gauges work in this truck, which it's a pretty common thing if you've got an OBS Ford. It's normal. It's nothing to worry about. Just carry some extra fuel. But like I was saying, I run the whole way down here on the back tank, and I got almost to, or a little bit past Morgantown, and I was like, okay, well, I went about 110 miles, so I flipped to the front tank, and drove me like 50 more miles, and the truck starts cutting out right in the middle of a construction zone on the interstate, and well, what do you know, I'm out of fuel. So I luckily ended up pulling into a little cutaway from the Jersey barriers, put a couple gallons in it and went to the fuel station, which this is just my kind of luck. I was literally 200 feet from the exit. I couldn't make it because, well, the truck said, nope, we're not doing this. Great. Anyway, we're gonna jump back on the interstate and keep heading south. Truck, so that's got to count for something. All right, y'all, we're in the home stretch now. As soon as we get through this tunnel, which is the East River Mountain Tunnel, we'll be in the great state of Virginia. kind of catches me off guard when somebody says, oh, I've never seen a tunnel before, I've never been through one. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, we literally have to go through one just to get to West Virginia to get anywhere. We've actually got to go through two of them. There's one in just a little bit on up the road in Bland County, Virginia. So this tunnel here, I think it's just at or just over a mile long. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, my home state. Man, I miss it here. They say Virginia's for lovers, but it's actually for tickets. Alright, here comes tunnel number 2, which means we are almost to Wythe County. Ladies and gentlemen, my hometown. Barbershop's right here. Gas station. This is going to be a farmer's market. This used to be a used four-wheel drive and auto parts place. There's the garage that was attached to it. So this is what I just drove 7 hours to come and pick up. This is a 94 F-150. It's got the 306 in it. It's an automatic. Bed's a little rough, but the cab and everything's in good shape still. It's been sitting for 6 years. Before my brother parked it, I'd put new exhaust on it for him and put a new coil and a new distributor in it. And it had an issue with not getting fuel. See if I can get this hood open. But it needs quite a few different things. Had some mice in here chewing on some stuff. Right there don't look good at all. Oof. It's gonna take some TLC, but I think we're gonna I think it'll be a good little truck once it gets finished up. Kind of undecided on what I want to do with it, but other than drive it, I was thinking maybe a little bit of a lift, you know, fix it up, fix the bed, maybe build a bed just for gits and shiggles. And I don't know, maybe, who knows what's going to happen with it. Now here's the inside. I've got to put new door pins in and fix this latch because it's just, it doesn't want to work half the time. I don't know how well can see this, but that's how bad the door pins are. The Derrier's in pretty good shape overall. Seat doesn't have any rips or anything in it. It's got a brand new gas tank to go with it. And before my brother parked this truck, I went and put new exhaust on it, put a new distributor in it. I think him and my papa all put new plugs and wires in it, or at least plug wires, because I don't think they could get the plugs out of it for some reason. And the issue with this truck was it wasn't getting fuel like it should. I don't remember exactly what the issue is, but it didn't have hardly any fuel pressure. So it could have been the relay or pump itself. It's been 6 years. I don't know. I don't remember. But what I do know is that you could get it to fire off, and when you put it in gear, it would just die. So we got to figure that issue out, and whatever else is to come. Alright, y'all, it's about 9:30 on Sunday morning. I just went and got my hair cut. Big thanks to my barber Jim Lloyd back home for opening up for me. Just topped the truck off with fuel and we're loaded up. We're gonna head on to the house. So we're already in West Virginia and we're going up Flat Top Mountain. And this is gonna be a long drive home, and I'll show you why. Truck's in second gear pulling this mountain. We've already got up most of it, but she's sweating, guys. It's due for a turbo and injectors and a bigger injection pump. Passed by semi trucks again. Guys, we're Flat Top. So the first leg of the trip is down. We're now on 19 North, just outside of Beckville, West Virginia. This road here, it normally takes about an hour to get from 77 to 79. But with pulling a trailer and going up these hills and mountains and stuff, I'm expecting it to be about an hour and a half, including my stop for fuel that I know I'm going to have to make in Fayetteville. So we'll just see how things go. So far the truck's doing pretty good. No complaints other than it not having to get up and go like my last truck did. But we can fix that. That's no issue at all. That right there is one of the laydown yards for the Mountain Valley Pipeline. And it stretches all the way from Carolina up to Pennsylvania, I believe. And several years ago, I actually used to work on that line. Unfortunately, it got shut down by, if I remember right, FERC and the EPA. And they're still doing a little bit, not a whole lot. I actually haven't heard much about it, but hopefully we can get that line back in order and get it built. stopped off here in Fayetteville and made our first fuel stop, and we're gonna grab some lunch, check straps and all that, and get back at it. That was good. Pretty good. This old truck ain't in too bad a shape, other than that and that. Frame's a little scaly, but it's really not bad at all, guys. And for some reason, this thing, you're running it off the front tank and it's returning to the rear tank. I've been told that that's a common thing for these trucks, but I don't remember. To me, it doesn't seem right. You would think that if you're running on a front tank, you want it to return to the front tank. Same with the back tank. But my back tank is full. Front tank is now full, so we're going to run it on the rear tank, and whenever we get low or run out, just switch to the front. Let's go grab something to eat. Man, this thing sure does look good, don't it? I have no regrets on that purchase. That just needs some TLC. So, when's the last time y'all saw a payphone? Been a minute, ain't it? Ago we got on 79 North, and that's going to run us all the way up into Pennsylvania, for those of y'all that don't know. And then we'll hop on Interstate 80 for a little bit, and then it's just back roads until we get to the house, but that's still a couple hours away. But we're going through Flatwoods, West Virginia right now, and the first time I ever came through here, I was in my white F-250, which was identical to this truck. It was just white with blue interior. And I got off 19, got on the interstate, and I was like, well, that's funny. I don't have power steering anymore. when we start going down the hill, I start going or go for the brakes to slow down, and my pedal's stiff as a board. Like, well, this is great. So I pull off here at Flatwoods, pull into the Pilot, and pop the hood. My truck had flung every single belt off. And for those of you that know, 7.3 IDIs, they run V-belt systems until 92, I think. Well, in the midst of all that, it ended up cracking a transmission line, so I had to run into the Pilot, try to find a hacksaw. Luckily, I had just enough hose on the transmission line that I could doctor that back together, and I had a spare belt to run the water pump, so I put that belt on, and I had to run all the way back to Sutton, which is 5-6 miles back the other direction, to go get belts. And I spent probably an hour trying to get everything situated in the Advanced Auto parking lot. And that's been 4 or 5 years ago. That was my third pipeline job ever. And I just happen to think about it, running back up this stretch of road in another 7.3 F-250. It's kind of nostalgic to me. Back in Pennsylvania. I wonder if that's where Dexter lives. Alright, y'all, we just pulled in the driveway, so we had a pretty daggum successful trip. And I learned one thing: I really need to get a fixed mount for this camera, phone, whatever you want to call it, because this is just a pain. But I'm gonna back this trailer in, unhook, and I'm gonna head on into the house. This was a fun yet long trip. I think it equaled out to be about 820 miles round trip, but it was worth it. One of the reasons why I did this is because I want to show some of y'all that you don't need a $70,000, $80,000 pickup truck to, go a long distance and pick something up. These old workhorses like what I've got right here, they still do just great. You're not going to get there as fast, and it might be a struggle pulling some hills, but it's going to get the job done. And I got to say, I'm very pleased with how this truck did. We struggled on a couple hills, but we didn't drop below 45, which isn't bad for having that back there and it being naturally aspirated. But as I said earlier, I think it's time for a turbo and some other things to go on it. My wife and I were planning on getting a camper sometime, and definitely going to need it. Lastly,
couple things I want to say is thanks to my brother for letting me come pick it up. Thanks to my dad for helping me get it on the trailer, as well as Justin with his tractor, and my buddy Josh for being the cameraman. Also, Josh, thanks for the springs. They're definitely going to go on the truck. But I guess that wraps this video up, y'all. So y'all do me a favor. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you hated it. And like, subscribe, comment, share. Y'all know the drill. I appreciate every one of y'all. Y'all have a good one.